So at the start of this year, I decided I wanted to sign up for some races that I was going to do for pure enjoyment, engage in the community through, and just literally bring back a bit of fun to running. So I decided to sign up for Canberra Marathon. I think a marathon's one of those things for runners where you want to tick it off, you want to see what it feels like. And yeah, just kind of like soak up those vibes. So I was really, really excited for this one. I did my last specific marathon session 7 days out from the race. And yeah, I was definitely going into this one a little bit hesitant. Coming from a trail running background from the last year, I really didn't know what to expect. I wasn't too sure on how the dynamics of the race were going to work, if I should sit with a pacer, if I was going to be with a pack. It was just all these unknowns that I kind of had to work through, and just at the end of the day, the night before, just brushed it aside and just treat it like any other race. I've kind of said it before, I like to treat races a little bit like those hard training sessions. So just going in with a good attitude and knowing that you can do it, just not knowing how hard it's going to feel at the time. Happy Easter, Sunday today. So I'm just out and I'm going to run some of the marathon course today. I've sat up and just mapped it on my phone because it's a little bit chaotic going around town. This is the first marathon specific session that I'm going to be doing. So we're a week out from the race. And yeah, I know I probably should have done some of these things a little bit earlier, but I don't know, I haven't got around to it. So I'm just going to use today to dial in a few things. First, I'm going to check out the course, just see what it looks like. It's really good to mentally prepare for that. Second is I'm going to dial in some nutrition. So just making sure I can take the amount of carbs in and the amount of liquids that I want to take during the race. And then I also want to run in the shoes that I'm going to be wearing too. So first thing I did this morning was just made sure I had a normal breakfast that I'd have before any race day. So just some hot water, a bagel and jam, and then I've just had a V. Race day, I would have a little bit more time between having all this food and then starting the race, whereas now I've probably only had about an hour and a half, 2 hours. So I do feel pretty full. So what I've got today is 2 hours. So I've got an hour aerobic where I'll just head out, go into town, run around some of the course. It goes around Parliament House. I'm probably going to get a little bit lost, to be honest, but I'm just going to see what I can and make the most of it that way. Then I'll come back to the car and I'll do a 30-minute effort at marathon pace. So I'm actually going to swap into some different shoes for that one. I'm going to put my race shoes on, which are hopefully going to be these Metaspeed Skies. Haven't run in the Skies. I've run in the Edges. And I liked those, so I just want to give these a whirl because I've just heard that a few people do like them. Running those for 30 minutes and then come back to the car, change back out of my shoes, and then do a 30-minute just aerobic to finish off. So not being a marathon runner, I know that during the race we get personal aid stations, so there's 3 of them where we can pick up nutrition. And I've been trying to figure out like what I actually use as a vessel for these personal aid stations. So I've ended up with poppers, like the ones you get your toddler, and yeah, basically just fill these up with some maple, some water, and some sodium. So today I've got 2 of those. I'm just gonna go for a run with them and see how it feels to hold. And then I've also just got the gels that I use too, so the precision gels, a few of those, 2 calf, 2 non-calf. The idea would be to be getting in kind of 80 to 90 grams carbs per hour, getting some liquid in too, just to make sure that those gels kind of digest properly. But yeah, really excited to get out there. It's kind of chilly this morning. It's about 11 degrees, so that should be quite nice. Fingers crossed it's similar on race day. I do love a nice cold race morning. I don't usually run with music, so I'll just head out, listen to my thoughts, figure out this course and lock in for that effort, and then yeah, just enjoy the cool down, and then we're into taper week. So it was an hour easy, and you wouldn't believe how much easier it is to follow a map on the streets rather than the trails. So I'm just going to put on the Metaspeed Skies now, and I'll do 30 minutes at marathon pace. So it's just like a out and back. It's so quiet today, there's literally no cars on the road, which is really good. I'll probably just run on the road for this whole section. And yeah, just focusing on getting in the nutrition, running well. Update on the bottle. So I was just running with it and I just put it in like the back of my pants, like resting between the waistband and my back. And that was actually pretty good. I couldn't even hear it sloshing around. Just sat there, and then I was just sipping it when I wanted to sip it, and got that down, got 2 gels down. See if I throw up or not. Effort done. That felt really good. I always find carbon shoes, they take a little bit of time to warm up. And then once they've warmed up, or maybe once I've warmed up, the pace starts to feel a lot easier. That section is quite nice. It just runs by the lake and a little bit undulating. and then you just get to a roundabout at the end, spin around and come back. Yeah, the entire section was like my whole effort, so 30 minutes. I'm just popping my glide rides back on and I'll do a 30-minute cool down. Done. 26.4 Ks, pace 4:30 and 2 hours. Yeah, that was sick. Had a great time. Warm up felt good, effort felt great, cool down was fine. Got through my nutrition. So I'm just gonna get on top of some recovery now, have a bit of a carb protein shake mix, get some water down and yeah, put my legs up for most of the rest of the day. I thought I should just show you what I actually ran today. I really didn't go into much detail. I think I was just frazzled. So yeah, basically just like tried to run most of the marathon course. I mapped it out on Sunto before I left today, so you can see, I don't know if I can make this a bit easier to look at. Maybe easier, maybe harder. But yeah, like you go around town here and then you've got like this out and back section. That's where I did the that marathon pace effort. The aim was to hold around 4-minute pace. I was actually really looking forward to this, putting on some super shoes and just knowing like it wasn't gonna feel overly hard, especially having done lots of those build runs leading into this marathon where I'm kind of sitting just above marathon pace and then sitting just below marathon pace for an effort. I think it's really good stimulus, but it was good because yeah, obviously you lose a bit of your pace going up the little hills and then you get a little bit more back when you're going a bit faster down. Leading into this marathon, everyone's just saying how hilly it is. So the total elevation is about 300 meters, and from the section I ran today, there's definitely hills, but yeah, I guess coming from trail running, it's just completely different. It's like these hills are so different to the ones that I usually run that they just feel quite easy. But then the hard part about the hills in this marathon course is that you're trying to hit them and you kind of stay at a higher pace. So mentally for me, I think that'll just mean being okay with the pace dropping back, going up the hills, and then knowing that you'll recover and you'll be able to get back on your pace going down and then hitting back on the flat terrain. But yeah, I'm honestly like really excited. I'm like keen to get out there, not have a 2-kilo pack on. It's going to be such a good vibe. I'm excited to like be running with people. Hopefully like I'm around people a lot of the time. And yeah, there's like lots of out and backs too. So getting to see, you know, running out and then getting to see people on the way back through will be really, really nice. Lots of people in Canberra that are doing the race as well, so there's going to be a good crew around. Sarah from the running company is also trying to go sub 3, so that's going to be heaps of fun to see her out there. And then yeah, just got a few friends doing the 10k and the half marathon as well. All right, I'm going to wrap up that session there. I'm going to head home, just chill out for a bit, and yeah, I'll see what I film for the rest of the week. But yeah, otherwise stick around and we'll get straight into race day. It's Saturday, we're just heading to the event village to go and do check-in. We've had a few people say it's going to be pretty chilly, so I was working at the shop yesterday and everyone was buying gloves and arm sleeves. We've heard kind of the 2 to 4 degree weather rolling around, so yeah, we'll see what happens, but ideally once we start running then that feels pretty nice and it won't get too hot. Oh, nice.
Hands like this, hold up, cross your nose, I'll let you know when it's in. Press it on and give it a good hard pinch for about 5 seconds.
Does your nose feel open?
Oh no.
So the day prior to this marathon, I did a 2-day carb load, pretty standard to the normal one that I would do. I've been doing it for about 6 months now. 2-day carb load, and predominantly this looks like cereal for breakfast, bagels and jam, heaps and heaps of rice with a bit of soy sauce, things like Powerade and juice, more rice, keeping everything really basic. I do like to steer away from things like lollies and chips. I just don't find that they sit in my stomach really well, and just making sure I'm drinking lots of water too. So on the Saturday, the day before the race, I was tossing up between some shoes. I decided to go for the Metaspeed Edges. Trail shoes, I think like they're kind of boring. You don't really get excited to put them on your feet, whereas like road shoes are like you put them on and you just go immediately. I feel like my performance is just going to be way, way better. Did a little shakeout at around 4 p.m. and yeah, started to plan out my nutrition. So I'm just making a little bit of a race plan for tomorrow. And this is what I've ended on. So the totals I'm going to go for is 270 grams of carb, 235 milligrams of sodium, and then a litre of water in total for the race. I'm going to have Jess and Tom out on course handing me some bottles, so thanks team. And then yeah, I'm basically just going to use these flasks because that's what I'm used to. I'm not used to drinking out of a bottle while I'm running. So what that's going to look like, I'm going to have a caffeine gel 15 minutes before the race. And then once I get started, I'll be taking something every half an hour. So at 7Ks in, I'll have a maple flask and a normal gel. 14Ks in, I'll have a caffeine gel and a water flask with some sodium, and that sodium should get me through the rest of the race. 21Ks, I'll have a maple flask, normal gel. 28Ks, caffeine gel and just water. And then 35Ks, I'll have some maple and a plain gel. Initially, I was gonna run with little poppers that I just picked up from Coles because the race did have personal aid stations. The thing was that at the personal aid stations, it was just going to be like a clutter of bottles. I actually had two friends, Tom and Jess, reach out who offered to hand me bottles, so I decided to go with some flasks. That's what I usually use for trail running. It's what I'm used to drinking out of, and they were just going to pass me those at every 7Ks. And yeah, doing this just made me feel heaps more comfortable. I wasn't going into a race doing something completely new. It was literally a normal thing that I would do in any trail run. So wake up on race day, it was pretty early. I woke up at 3:30 and I had a Nomio shot in the fridge, so I made sure that I put that one down. It's basically broccoli sprouts and lemon juice, and it's essentially a lactate buffer, so it's meant to delay the lactate that your body produces when you're doing hard work. Had my normal breakfast, did a bit of stretching and some rolling, and yeah, basically headed out the door to head out to the race. Everyone was saying it was going to be a little bit cooler in the morning, but it actually felt pretty nice. Immediately we did notice there was a little bit of wind, but temperature wise, once I'd warmed up, yeah, it was honestly feeling quite good.
Does that mean it's recording?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Steve.
One thing that you like to talk about? Yeah, look, the marathon is iconic, and congratulations. And
How are we feeling, Demi?
Yeah, good. Ready to go?
Brilliant.
So when the race started, I was literally on the start line, like trying to connect my heart rate monitor, and I was like, oh, this is going to be chaotic. Everyone around me is probably wearing one. So yeah, I like tried to look for it on my watch, but luckily everyone was wearing their Kudos ones, whereas I had a polar one on my arm. So I was like, selected that and was like, surely that's me. Fingers crossed.
3, 2, 1, away you go!
Go, Demi. Stuff, Jared.
Come on, Oz. Let's go.
Attaboy.
So started the race, and then yeah, immediately went out, and I was honestly just like looking for any women. I was like, I just want to see who the front women are, and I want to be up the front to start, because I've learned in the past, if you don't put yourself in the race, you're immediately out of the race. So that was kind of the game plan from the get-go.
Go, Demi.
Go, Demi! Woohoo!
I did have a rough idea that I wanted to stick at about 4-minute K. As soon as we went out, I was watching my pace, and I noticed I was definitely running a little bit faster than I probably thought I was going to be. And the one thing that I was looking at a lot was my heart rate. So I got a pretty good idea lately and in training of just the good zones that I can sit in and the zones that I can hold for a good amount of time. So I was watching my heart rate, and it was just sitting in a space where it was maybe like my zone 3, where I knew that if I just stayed there and I didn't go above a particular number, then I would be able to sustain the effort. So yeah, I just didn't get hung up on it, kept looking at my heart rate, and yeah, it was cracking on. At around the 33K mark, that's when I broke away from the girl that I was running with. I was trying to hold off till about 10Ks to go before I put the effort in and watch my heart rate go up. But yeah, went a little bit early and just decided, well, this is the time to go. I better create a gap now, and then it's hopefully gonna make it so that we don't have a sprint finish at the end. So yeah, kind of just increased that gap, and was actually feeling really good. I was honestly feeling really good the whole race, just trying to stay controlled, making sure that I was eating, making sure that I was drinking. I had Tom at every 7Ks. I would take a gel about a K before I got to him, and then I'd grab the flask, finish that, and then yeah, like put it in my top, and then when I saw him, I'd throw that to him and I'd grab that new one. So yeah, honestly, it like worked out really, really well. Tom didn't tell me till after that he said he almost missed it at one of the stations, probably said he had like 20 seconds to get there before I ran through. But yeah, honestly played it really cool, and I'm very, very appreciative of that. And one quote that really stuck with me that Nathan mentioned was, the quote was, "Ignorance is bliss, but knowledge is power." So I think this really stuck with me in the race because the Yarralumba section, so the out and back that I did for my last marathon session, having run that, I knew what it looked like, and that's the section where I actually broke away on. So yeah, I just think if I hadn't have run it and I didn't know what that section was like, I might not have had that confidence. And that's why, yeah, it's really good if you are going to do a race, like do a recce of the course, because knowledge is power. I had some pretty good chats to the lead bike who was riding with us. So he literally rode with us for the entire run, so 42.2 Ks. Warren, thank you. He was a legend. We ended up crossing through the half marathon in some points where they were running kind of on like the right hand side of the road. So he was out in front of me, yelling them to move over, literally like having to nudge some of them because they had earphones in and they couldn't hear him behind. And it, yeah, literally cleared the path for me the whole way to that finish line.
Okay, we
Go,
can see
Demi!
the first of our females in the marathon. Demi Cole coming across the line now. Let's go. Few smiles and congratulations to you, Demi. Well done. That was an amazing run. You snuck up on us, but we got you across the line. Well done. Take a moment to come over and say hello to you in a moment or two.
Running down that finish straight was amazing. It honestly felt so far. I could see it in the distance and I was pushing, and yeah, I was just like, eyes on the tape, let's go. Yeah, across the line, grabbed the tape, and just was honestly like, that was wild.
Talking about that earlier today. Oh, you just up and chat straight away, aren't you, Demi? Hey, congratulations to you. Well done. Yeah, nice work. I mean, we watched your times as you came on through, and I mean, you did break up a pretty good lead from over at Western Park there, so congratulations. What about running through the nation's capital, the Parliamentary Triangle, past, you know, we'll be starting up there at Old Parliament House, the Museum of Australian Democracy. We had you running up to the Australian War Memorial. It's pretty special, isn't it?
Yeah, it was really cool. It was a good distraction the whole time.
Very good. Okay, well, congratulations to you. We will see you on the window. Thanks, Demi. Okay, congratulations, Demi Caldwell. Fantastic work. And where for our second.
Had such a great time doing the marathon. It was like there was people around the entire time, like cheering your name, giving you support. There was other runners on the field yelling out, and I just really try to like absorb all that too. Like if people are smiling, I'm gonna smile back. You know, we're all out here running. We chose to be here. Have a good time. There's always a positive in every situation. So it honestly, like, had such a blast.
It'll be sore tomorrow, isn't it? That's all right.
Yeah, Jared!
Okay, there he is. In first place with a time of 2 hours, 43 and 24. Demi Caldwell. Right there. Again, big smile, and I mean, we were chatting to Demi like 30 seconds after she crossed the line and blow out a candle. It's great. Really, really good. Thank you for that as well. Okay, congratulations.
So my final time was 2 hours 43. Initially I was aiming to get 2:48, so I was definitely under my time. But yeah, I feel like I raced the race I was in. I accepted the conditions. It was a little bit windy, it was a little bit hilly. It's such a cool course, and yeah, I can't wait to do another one. I'll give it a year though.